everybody, welcome to the Waldock Way. I'm Jessica, and today's video is going to be a let's chat about child-led learning. So it was probably a little longer than a day ago for you guys, but yesterday in real time, I posted a blog post about child-led learning and about how I followed my daughter's lead, and we did an entire week of veterinarian kind of based learning, and I got a ton of messages of people asking me, like, how do you follow your child's lead, or telling me that they wish that their child had something, that they could follow, that every time they asked their child was like, I don't know what I want to learn. And so child-led learning wouldn't work for them. And I started to try to reply to everybody, and then I decided that I couldn't type it and text it the way I could come on here and explain it. And that this way I could explain it to all of them and, everybody else, kind of what child-led learning is for us and how I follow my child's lead, and maybe, encourage you to do the same. So the first thing I want to say is that I'm sorry, because if I led any of you to believe that Emily verbally tells me what she wants to learn, then I misled you, because that is not the case. One time in our whole homeschool history has she verbally said anything as far as like, this is what I want to do. And it was last summer when she said, 2 summers ago, when she said that, Mom, wouldn't it be really cool if we could do Jack and Annie school, after we had read one of the Magic Treehouse books. And I was so excited, and it was such a monumentous occasion that was the birth of Passport to Adventures. So just to kind of give you a example of how big of a deal that was, because she does not tell me, Mommy, I want to learn this. That's not how it works in our house. And in fact, when I first learned about child-led learning, and I asked her, what do you want to learn? She looked at me like a deer in the headlights, and she was like, I have no clue what you're talking about. And I thought, okay, well, this isn't going to work for us, because she can't tell me what she wants to learn. And then I'd ask again, and she'd be like, I don't know. And I'm like, okay, well, we can't do this. I'm just going to have to pick, and we're just going to have to learn, because she doesn't know what she wants to learn. And then after a lot of thinking and soul searching, I realize that I cannot expect my daughter to do something that I myself can't do. My husband can ask me at 6 p.m. where I want to go to dinner, and I am the one that's like, I don't know. So if I at 32 cannot even pick where I want to go to dinner for the night, how can I expect my 6-year-old to tell me what she wants to learn about in school? Verbalizing what you want to do and like thinking it through and figuring it out as a kid is next to impossible. So that is not going to work. So the way we do child-led learning, and at least how it works for, me and her and our household, is I follow her lead physically. So I don't say, what do you want to learn? And her look at me like I have no clue. I let her lead me down her path and down her interest, unbeknownst to her. So for instance, the way the veterinarian thing worked is we were sitting on a Sunday night scrolling through, the out school classes, because she was really into taking the classes. And there was one called So You Want to Be a Vet. She said, that would be a really cool class to take. And I said, okay. And it was like $6. It was the next day. And it worked out, that we were free. So I signed her up. She took the class and she finished, and she was super excited. And next thing I know, she has her doctor's kit in the living room, and she is, doctoring our cat. And our cat is, thank goodness, super patient and was like, okay, whatever. And then as soon as my husband got home, she was like really excited and ran up to him and, is yelling about what she did and how, she wants to be a vet when she grows up. And as I'm, listening to her talk, I'm like, light bulbs are going off. Hey, she's really into this. This is something that she's, is lighting her fire. She's super excited. And that is when I immediately thought, okay, it's time to follow her lead. And by lead, I mean what lit her on fire. And that's when I went through my homeschool closet and started, compiling resources. And I don't make her do any of it. So what I did is I offer everything that I had as like a feast. Like I offer all of these resources. I kind of strew them. I put them out there. And I, things she needs my help on, I help her with. But as far as child-led learning goes, I take what lights her on fire. I give her all of the information or give her all of the resources, and then I follow her lead. If she wants to do one book, she wants to do 50 books, that, or play this game or play that game, like that's the whole point, is it's her lead. It's her passion that you're following, and you can't drive somebody else's passion. That's their thing. So that is how child-led learning works for us. And it probably will work for you the same way. You just don't realize it, because I have a ton of people that tell me all the time that their child doesn't want to learn anything. They don't verbalize what they want to learn, and they can't pick it out. For instance, recently, and I hope she doesn't mind, I'm totally going to use her as an example. I have a really good friend who, we were talking about Emily's vet experience, and she said, man, I wish, my son had something that, lit him on fire like that, something that he really wanted to learn, because I would love to make learning more interesting for him. And for her, it didn't click. Like, she didn't see it. And I was like, he does. I mean, he loves fishing. He is an avid fisher and loves everything about it. And she was like, yeah, but I'm like, no, seriously, you can do a lot with it. And so I helped her, find some resources and, books and games and things like that. And she's like, oh, this will work. And so what I want to say to you guys is that sometimes somebody else can see that passion when you can't. If you're sitting there right now watching this thinking, oh yeah, for my kid it's Pokemon, or it's fishing, or it's, unicorns, or it's fairies, or what, if you're thinking like right now as I'm speaking something is popping into your head, then roll with it, because you're probably right on the money. If you're, there's one topic that's like, oh yeah, that's it, then roll with it and, give it all you've got. Give your child everything you can lay out feasibly. I mean, don't go broke, but between the library, what you have on hand, whatever idea is popping into your head right now, roll with it. If you absolutely cannot think of anything, then ask somebody outside of yourself. Ask your husband, ask some of the siblings, ask some close friends that know your child well, because it may be something that you're just overlooking, something you're just so used to that it's not clicking for you. So ask, somebody else. And if you still can't think of anything, just pay really close attention and be ready, because that moment is going to come when their eyes are going to sparkle, when they're going to get really excited, they're going to talk really fast, they're going to talk your ear off, and you're going to be like, oh my God, please do not tell me one more thing about this, I don't know, character or this thing you built in Minecraft or whatever it is. And then as you're thinking that, you're like, oh wait, this is it. This is the thing. This is what Jessica told me about. I need to follow this. And just follow it, until it's exhausted, and then let it go, and then pick up the next thing. Now, that being said, I want to hear what lights your kids on fire. So in the comments, let me know what it is. What is the thing that excites them? What is the thing that, sparkles their eyes and makes them super happy, and that they could learn about forever, and that they would never be like happy with everything they learn?